I won't say it for any reason at all. Just now I can't explain the words I feel to say.
My name's Frank Lentini. I'm 46 years old, and I have severe hemophilia A.
It doesn't guide me back home alone. Someday I will say I am all I am. I am all the same.
Well, I think every day I wake up and it starts bad because, like I said, the pain, I think, I use my crutches for the first half an hour, first hour of the day until I get loosened up. And so it starts off bad, but I always say, after an hour, it's going to be better. What I'll do is get in a nice warm shower, loosen up a little bit. If I sit for 3 or 4 hours, it gets a little difficult getting up out of my chair. I'm lucky that I have my family, they try to keep me upbeat, and I know that I have to get out of bed to support my family, and they support me. My wife is wonderful. She helps me a lot, keeps me moving, and kind of is my cheerleader to keep me moving.
I'm Kim Lentini. I'm Frank's wife and mother of our three kids. Frank and I have been married for 20, oh my gosh, I'm in trouble now, over 20 years. We went to high school together, very small high school, but we did not know each other. He gave me the typical story. He was on crutches and told me that he had saved a child from a burning building, and I think he had a few to drink, but anyway, I didn't believe him, but he was cute, so we went along with it. The kids are aware of it, but we don't dwell on it, and we just try to keep going, and Frank has definitely shown them a positive way of living and how to keep getting through any adversity, and he inspired all of us here.
I'd say growing up was pretty normal. I didn't really understand what hemophilia was until probably I was like 9 or 10. And then it didn't really matter because I did all the normal stuff that a kid would do. We rode four-wheelers, we played outside. I mean, it was sometimes difficult with his knee replacements to play around and stuff, but we always made up for it in different ways. So.
Up next is Ryan Lentini.
Don't call it fight when you know it's a war. When having me t-shirt on, and go sit on the bed because you know that you want to.
Watching my kids play sports and doing some of the things that I couldn't do when I was younger really brings me great joy to know that they're healthy and that they can enjoy it, the competition.
Who's this guy over here? Come on. Is this the last game?
Well, playing sports with my dad, he really did help me. Not like playing with me, but he showed me a lot of the stuff that I do today. See what he does in his troubles. He's an inspiration for me, so I can go on.
I know the one time my father had me go out and swing a bat at a baseball game. They stopped the game for me and they said, we're going to let Frank try to hit the ball. After I swung the bat, I went home and I found out that I caused a bleed in my knee just from swinging the bat. So I was like, my dad felt bad that he had me do it. I felt bad for him because he had never seen his son play any sports. So he just wanted to see me swing, you know, and I couldn't do it. So.
That's My Life, Our Future, this genetic testing phenotyping for hemophilia. I wanted to show you and give you your copy of the report. So, as you know, hemophilia is something that's inherited through the X chromosome. So your mother had carried it, or potentially a mutation occurred spontaneously in her, and she gave it to you. Either way, that's how you got it, and how your daughter is a carrier of it. And so you had a portion of the mutation of the chromosome, the intron 22, is an inversion, and that's a fairly common mutation that occurs in people with severe hemophilia. Okay.
What does the inversion mean? Does that mean the chromosome?
That means that the part of the chromosome had flipped to a different portion.
But you know what? I have a picture of you when you first came in, when you were having that, you had that cut over your eye.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I remember that.
Do you remember how you got it?
It was horrible. I fell out of bed, and I hit my nightstand, the corner of my nightstand, when I fell out of bed and gashed. I woke up on the floor in a pool of blood, and I remember trying to stop that bleeding. It was just, I got this big, horrible clot in the top of my head. I remember that. I still have that picture.
This is just old. That's what it was.
Unfortunately, it doesn't print very well.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Look at that.
Can't get over you.
So how old were you then?
Jeez, I was probably 5 years old. Yep. That sums up hemophilia right there.
Yeah,
The clot forms, it just doesn't stick.
Stop.
Even though I'm kind of limited mobility-wise, I still, like I said, I still like to exercise, work out. I like to play golf when I can. That's not too strenuous of an exercise. I never want to be like caged up in my house. I want to be out. I want to be driving. I want to be, outdoors. I want to be, enjoying life. And so my biggest fear in life is that someday I wake up and I can't move, and I need to be in a wheelchair, and I can't walk out into the kitchen, or I can't walk outside and walk down the street with my kids, or things like that. I mean, that's my biggest fear. Now, I actually treat twice a week, whether I have a bleed or not, and that helps prevent some of the bleeds before they come on.
Stand on up and take a bow.
She knows I'm on crutches when I get boo-boos.
Sometimes I get him a Band-Aid or that.
Shout out to the dreams you'll chase. Shout out to the hearts you'll break. Nothing's
To help me wipe my factor with the alcohol swabs.
Do you help get when Daddy takes his medicine?
Yep.
You're here. It's autumn time. You're starting to shine.
We play together, and my dad always plays with girl dolls, even though if it's a girl.
Even though he's a man. It's cool.
I found my treasure.
I always believe that God gave you things and obstacles for a reason. The hemophilia and everything that I've went through to this date has made me the person that I am today, and I would be different, much different, if I didn't have hemophilia. But I think the hemophilia has made me a better person. It's made me a more caring person. It's made me compassionate. Put everything in perspective. Thank God for what I have, and thank God that I have healthy children, and a great family, a great wife, and I think you can look at it in two different ways. You can pout and be sad about your situation and blame God, or you can turn it around into something good. So that's what I've tried to do.
I know